Welcome back to CosPilates. Today we have a incredible stretching video. So we're taking inspiration from Elastigril from Disney's The Incredibles, if you couldn't tell by my outfit, and we're gonna do a full body stretching experience. This has been highly requested for a while, and I'm so excited to be able to finally bring it to life. So let's meet standing and we'll jump right in. All right, we love a New York apartment. We make the space work. So we're gonna start with our Sun Salutation front support series. You're gonna start with a big inhale. Take your arms up to the ceiling. Find a nice long stretch. Feel like you're flying through the sky like a true superhero. And then on your next exhale, you're gonna forward fold. Let the head be heavy and roll down vertebra by vertebra, piece by piece, until you come towards the floor in your forward fold. If the hands don't touch, totally fine. You can take a soft bend of the knees. And then from here, we're gonna walk out into our plank position. Now, you can take your plank straight arms, you can come onto the forearms, you can bend the knees. Lots of options here for your plank. You're gonna hold here, or take a little upward facing dog. You'll drop your pelvis towards the floor, roll your shoulders open, and really send your chest through your wide collarbones. So open, proud chest, very superhero-esque. You can stay here or you can turn the head. Gaze behind you. Check if there's any enemies there that we need to beat up. You'll get a different stretch in the side body and in the front of the hip a little bit. From here, we return to center. You lift back up into your plank and then press yourself back into your down dog. So we want a long diagonal line, heels heavy towards the floor. You can pedal them out a little bit by bending one knee and then the other. So lots of options here to just warm up the body. And then return to stillness. You'll walk your hands back to meet your feet, drop your head into your forward fold, make a quick adjustment of your mask so that no one knows your true identity. And then slowly roll all the way up to tall, bone by bone. Head is the last thing to come up. We're gonna take that 2 more times. Inhale, arms come up. Find a lot of reach and length. Press the floor away, stretch the fingers to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Let it feel good. Walk your hands out into your plank. You can hold it, go for that upward facing dog. Knees can be floating, or you can bring the knees to the mat and do those twists once more. Lift up into your plank, pike your hips up to the ceiling, hold. Now we're gonna hang out in our down dog. This last one's gonna be a little different. We're gonna go for some spinal waves. You're gonna lift your heels nice and high. Now from here, roll through your spine like a wave all the way into your plank or through to your upward facing dog. Now chin towards your chest, round the spine, bone by bone. Booty back, long diagonal line back to your down dog. 2 more times. Lift the heels, articulate through your spine, into your upward facing dog or plank, and then wave back. Hang out here. Walk the hands back to meet your feet, drop the head, and I'm learning now that it's not gonna be Sarah versus the evil enemies, it's gonna be Sarah versus her superhero mask this whole class. Slowly roll all the way up to tall, draw the shoulders back. All right, we have finished our little standing warm up. We're gonna meet in a quadruped position back on the mat for a little bit more. Greetings from the mat. Let's come to that quadruped position. Shoulders are over your wrists. Knees are under your hips. You're pulling your front body towards your back body so that you have a long plank position here. We're gonna take a couple of cat-cow spinal waves. So from here, you're gonna drop your chest through, just like we did in the upward facing dog. Lift the chin. Get really long in the spinal extension. So don't just think dropping the pelvis down. How long can that tailbone grow behind you? How long can the sternum grow in front of you? And then round your spine into your angry cat. Angry Catwoman. I know not the same franchise, but superheroes nonetheless. And then drop 2 more times into your cow. And bring it back up. 1 more time. From here, let's turn this into a little circle. You're gonna circle the head and circle your hips. Open up that lower back a little bit, get a little shoulder blade mobility on the body. And then reverse. Bending the elbows is fine here. We're just getting the body used to the idea that it's gonna stretch. Return back to your quadruped position. Quick little twist here. You're gonna take your right hand, you're gonna bring it behind your head. You're gonna take a little twist, elbow towards elbow, and then turn up to the ceiling. And twist, and turn up. So we will work in rotation as part of our stretching series. So we wanna warm up that movement of the spine. 2 more times. Try to keep the hips pretty quiet. After this last one, you return the hand down and we change sides. You twist towards your knee and turn out. I love rotation. It's my favorite spinal movement. It's a weird thing to have as a fun fact, but rotation feels so good and it's so important and so underrated. This is your last one. Return to your quadruped position. Take a quick child's pose here so you can widen the knees, toes are together, and you'll stretch your arms long into your child's pose. Breathing easy. You should feel a stretch in the inner leg, maybe into the side body, into the lats, into the lower back a little bit. Let's turn this into a tricep stretch. You're gonna bend at the elbows. You're gonna clasp hands together and then just bring the knuckles over your head as you drop your chest through to the mat. You can rock a little bit in this position, and this is gonna get a little bit more into that upper arm, into the triceps. You can walk the elbows out a little bit. I'm gonna provide a lot of options here today because everyone is gonna be a little different day by day. Stretching is very finicky. So just meet your body where it's at today, and just remember you're not fitting into a cookie cutter mold. You're moving your body and meeting it where it's at. Straighten your arms, come on up. This time we're gonna bring the knees together and we're going to sit on our heels a little bit. So we're gonna stretch the fronts of the feet, not the bottoms of the feet. We'll get there, spoiler alert. So just sitting onto the heels. If this is difficult for you to do, you can always bring your weight a little bit more forward into your hands and then play with kind of shifting forward and back. I like a little bit of movement in some of my stretching because it warms the body up to the idea of being in the static stretch. Sometimes we need a little bit more or a little bit something before we sit right into that static stretch. Now we're gonna stretch out the bottoms of the feet. All right, I'm getting too excited. I'm getting ahead of my words. You're gonna tuck your toes under, sit back onto your heels, and same thing, you're gonna feel a lot of stretch into the toes and specifically into the arches of the feet. You might feel a little in the Achilles area of the ankle. If this is really tight and feeling very intense, you can take the same modification with more weight into your hands. And just hang out here for a few more breaths. If you'd like to add on, the hands come to the mat and then you lift up onto your toes and sit your booty back a little bit. My knees are together and I'm just heavying the heels towards the floor into a bit of a tendon stretch style situation. And just getting a stretch a little bit higher up the ankle into the calf. And what I like about this series is that you can move through all three. So you can come from your little tendon stretch into your tucked toe position, and then back to your flat tops of the feet. Let's return to that with the feet long onto the mat. Legs are zipped together. Final child's pose here with the legs together. Stretch the arms long or take your tricep stretch here. And this child's pose will get a little bit more into that lower back. It just changes the focus of the stretch. Take 2 more big breaths here. And slowly come all the way up to sit. Let's turn and face one of the long edges of the mat. We're gonna warm up those hips. From here, you're gonna take your hands behind you, might be onto your mat or onto the floor behind you. And I'm working as lifted of a spine as I can. I don't wanna be sinking into the arms and hanging out. I really wanna work that lift of the back and finding that long spine and good posture. Your legs are gonna come a little bit wider than your hips. So from here, keeping this nice posture position, all you're gonna do is lower your knees over to the right. You're gonna feel a little movement and stretch right in that hip capsule. You might get a little stretch in the side body and in the back. And then come back through center, change sides. Keeping that spine nice and lifted, especially as the legs transfer to the other side. We don't wanna kind of manipulate the pelvis and the spine a lot as we move. We really want to isolate that hip mobility, so really working our internal and external rotation of our hips. And getting not just mobility work, but also getting the stretch as we move through the range of motion. Now from here, bring them over to the right and hold. We're going to play with that rotation a little bit more. The right leg is going to stay nice and heavy down towards the mat. I want you to work that left leg open as far as it can go. And I'm thinking about turning out from the top of the thigh bone, like it's a doorknob that I'm turning open. How far can that leg rotate to the side before the other leg has to follow? We'll take those a few times. So you tease open with that right leg, keep rotating at the top of the thigh bone and bring it back. Let's take that 3 more times. So we still get a lot of stretch, we get a lot of work in the hips. You can also identify a lot of asymmetries in the body here. You can see which leg, which hip has a little bit more rotation in either direction. A lot of good finds you can learn from doing this. This last time we'll come all the way over to the right and we set up for a little glute stretch. So we're going to turn to face the short end of the mat. You'll have a 90-90 position with your legs, so you might have to readjust a little bit. Use your mat as a guide. So my front shin, my right shin, is parallel to the short edge, and then my leg that's next to me is nice and aligned with the long edge here. Take a couple of lifts and lowers of the heel. This might be a little intense if you're feeling a little tight in the hip. So just get a little movement in like we talked about before. Sometimes going right into that static holds can be a little much. And then you're gonna return to as square as you can to the front of your mat. From here, you're gonna forward fold over your leg and you should feel a stretch in your glutes. You can keep up on fingertips, you can lower down to your forearms, or you can go full flop over the legs. If you want to intensify the stretch, you turn the body more towards the knee and lower down in that direction. And you can take a little side bend here or twist at the ribs a little bit more to get a little BOGO deal out of your stretch. We'll hang out here for 1 more breath. Come all the way up and we move into our pigeon stretch from here. So this is going to target a little bit more of that left hip flexor. So that long leg behind you stretches. And this leg that's in front, maybe it doesn't stay fully at 90. If you have to take a little bend here, totally fine. If you need blocks to prop up the hands, lots of options here. I'm going to be working up on fingertips. And we're just going to take 3 little lowers over the leg and lifting back up. Working the squareness of the hips here. You'll know they're square because you're going to feel the stretch in a whole new exhilarating way. Now from here, I'm going to work a lifted pigeon today. So I'm gonna squeeze my left glute to get a little bit more extension through my back leg. And I'm gonna work a lot of lift out of my torso and really sink my pubic bone towards the floor. You can stay here, or you can eventually work towards your more restorative, I guess you could say, pigeon pose with the forearms or the body all the way down, letting that feel good. The twist also works here. So if you want to kind of lean a little bit more towards that knee to get that twist and deepen the intensity of the stretch, totally valid here. All right, let's return center. You're gonna come all the way up and we're gonna find a lunge position. So we're still with the right leg in front. What a journey, what a hero's journey. You're going to bring that right leg in front. We'll start with the knee directly over the ankle, and then toes are long behind you, so we're not gonna work tuck just yet. And I want you to work an upright lunge. So from here, you wanna work square hips. You wanna squeeze the glute of that left leg to get a little bit more stretch in the front of this hip. And I want you to think less that you're in a kind of running position, like you're waiting for the gun to fire to sprint. I want you to feel more lifted here and feel like your pelvis is just sliding down a little bit more. So it's a more upright position, changes the quality of the stretch, and I think you get a little bit more stretch in both legs when you do it this way. You can hang out here. If balance is a problem, you can grab onto blocks or books that you have and hold yourself up. Lots of options here. You can also add a twist. So I'm twisting towards the bent leg, gently holding onto my thigh that's behind me, still working that lift. Maybe go for a bit of a dramatic back bend. Come back through center, and now we add on. You bring your hands down to the mat, toe heel that foot a little bit wider, maybe towards the side of the mat so that your hands can come onto the mat. Now from here, you will tuck your toes under. We're just gonna kind of move in this position. I'm fine if you kind of lean onto that knife edge part of the foot. Move around a little bit, just get familiar with this position. And then we're gonna return to stillness. We're gonna play with the little lift of the knee, which is why we tuck the toes under. You're gonna keep everything square to the front edge of the mat. All you're gonna do is lift that left knee up, and we'll hold for 1, 2, bend your knee, lower it down. 2 more times like that. You lift up, hold for 1, 2, and lower it back down. Last time, lift up, hold for 1, 2, and lower it down. This time you're gonna lift up and hold there. Stay here or add a little twist. Taking that right arm up to the ceiling, stretching long through that back heel, bending long through that front knee in opposition. And then coming back through center, lowering the knee down, we'll go for our lizard. So this one, the forearms will come to the mat. You can fall onto that knife edge of that foot if that feels good. And then we get a little bit more into that inner thigh. Woohoo! One of my favorites. Really heavy that pelvis towards the floor. Breathe. Try not to add tension in the upper body especially. All right, coming all the way up. One final thing here, we're gonna add a quad stretch. You're gonna bend that back leg. Take your right arm, reach for that foot or your ankle, or if you're just reaching for it, that's also fine. We're gonna get a little bit more into the quad. Squeeze the glute. And get a full lengthening in the front of that left leg. Come all the way back. Now we go for a little split here, and not a full split. We'll get there. We're gonna straighten that front leg, flex the foot, and find a flat back fold over your leg. Breathing easy. You can stay here or take a few lunge into your split prep. Find what works for you. I'm gonna hang out in a bit of a static stretch here because I feel like my hamstring really needs it today. You can also add a twist here. So I take my left hand to the outside of my right foot, and I don't just twist away, I lower the chest down towards my leg. And I'm thinking booty kind of goes back, heel draws forward. All right, final thing on this side. You're gonna bend the front knee and you're gonna turn to face the long edge of your mat. This is gonna look a little bit like a side lunge, or if you're familiar with yoga, more of an extended side angle variation. You're going to take your left, not your left, your right. I don't know my right from my left anymore. I'm a Pilates instructor. From here, you're gonna take the hand long down onto your knee, so your right hand on your right leg, and then working a lifted position, you're gonna lunge a little forward. The arm is here to kind of open the knee up a little bit, to get a little bit more stretch in that inner leg, and then come back up. Let's take that 2 more times. And lift. This last time you can hang out here. You can drop the hand down and go for a little extended side angle-esque position. And then come all the way up, shake it out. Option here, if you want to try for your split, now's the time. So we're gonna start with the right leg in front because we're pretty stretchy right now. So your front splits are a combination of 2 things. It's hamstring flexibility and quad and hip flexor flexibility. You need both to get into that split. We just worked both of these. So with that in mind, the way that you can get into your split is you set up into your lunge position. Then from here, you can slowly toe heel the leg out in front of you. This looks like our splits prep. Now you start to straighten that leg behind you, coming into your split position. So you can see where you need both of these things in your split. My hamstring in the front leg is nice and long and stretched, but I also need that flexibility in the hip flexor and the quad to be able to get my pelvis all the way to the floor. You can stay here or you can lean forward and kind of rock around. True Elastigril fashion here. Or you can work a lifted position. I've also been playing with removing my hands. Woo! And then you hang out here for at least 30 seconds. And then slowly, I like to sit back on my back leg to bring the leg in. Coming out of the split, it never looks entirely graceful. All right, that was side 1. Let's head over to side 2. I'll meet you there. All right, side 2. We started with that 90-90 position for our glute stretch. So now the left leg's in front, the right leg is out to the side. Take a couple of lifts and lowers of the hip. And one side might feel dramatically different from the other. Totally normal. Now from here, you square off towards the front of your mat. Take a little lower over, once again, either on fingertips, onto your forearms, or full flop. You can work that twist towards the knee. Just find what works for you. If you feel like your knee is starting to turn on a little bit, I want you to flex the foot. That'll help protect the knee joint. But if it feels wrong or your red flags are popping up, abort mission and take a pause and join us in the next exercise. Listen to your body. Come all the way back up. We're gonna go into our pigeon stretch here. So I like to straighten the leg a little bit first before I roll onto my front here. And then once again, working that square position, lifting up into my pigeon pose. Now my right quad is significantly tighter than my left quad, so I have to squeeze that a little bit in the glute. And I'm gonna work a little lower lift here. You can hang out in that lifted position, add this in, or go straight into your more restorative fold over the leg. And you can kind of see how this looks like our split in a way. And you can see, especially in the pigeon position, how it's so important to keep the hip square for your split. Feels so good. You can add the twist. This is one of those stretches that feels quite intense, and it feels like you're working out when you stretch. Stretching is no joke. All right, come back through center. Slowly come up. We're gonna transition to a lunge. And get to these positions however is most comfortable and safe for you. I stretch a lot, so I have a lot of range of motion in particularly strange areas of the body from all of my crazy flexibility training. So if you have to completely come out of a stretch and then set it up from a quadruped or seated position, please do that. Stretching is also very finicky. I find some days I wake up and I feel like Elastigril, and some days I wake up and I feel like a cement block that can't move, that has never stretched a day in their life. And I find too that my mobility changes a lot throughout the day. So be patient, be kind, and if it feels very different to stretch on Monday than how it did on Sunday, know that that's normal. All right, from here, we're going to heel toe the leg open a little bit more into that wider lunge position, rocking around. And then from here, we're gonna go into those little holds. So the toe tucks under, lift that knee up, and lower it down. And lift, and lower. Last time like this, and lower. This time you lift up and hold. You can stay here, add your twist. Who's your favorite member of the Incredibles family? Can you tell that I'm a Violet fan? I was an emo teenage girl, and honestly still identify as an emo teenage girl, so I'm still Violet. Come all the way back down, bend the knee, and then drop down onto your forearms. I'm gonna untuck my toes. Sometimes I add a lot of tension into my toes when I'm in these more intense stretches. And then coming up, we'll do that quad stretch. So you'll bend the knee, grab onto the calf, ankle, reach for the leg. Try not to get too locked into that hip. So I kind of lift it up out of my hip a little bit to get a little bit more balance on that right knee. So I can work that twist a little bit more and get into my incredibly tight quad. All right, lower on down. Come on up, and we'll do that extended side angle side lunge. So same arm, same leg. There we go. Didn't have to say right and left. And you'll lean forward and come up. This makes me feel like Spider-Man a little. Or any other superhero. It's a very action hero style pose. If you've seen or have done a lot of my videos, I like to work an action hero pose a lot. Because why not? Keep it fun. Look at me. I'm dressed as a superhero right now. Feels so good. All right, come all the way up. Let's try our splits on the other side. So now the left leg is in front in our lunge. So we've moved through a lot of these shapes already. So from here, you're gonna either heel toe the front, heel toe the back, or both, and start to come down into your split. When I was first training my splits, I used to keep yoga blocks nearby to help me work that lifted position, because you wanna work that lift in your abdominals at the start. It's a very different experience to lean over. It's actually a little easier, and you also miss out on that stretch specifically in the front of the hip that you need to get that pubic bone down. So working that lift, you can rock a little bit, be safe, be gentle. Let me see if I got the balance. Woo! Definitely my less flexible side. Breathing easy, try not to tense up, easier said than done. And then slowly bring that leg back in. Take a moment, shake it out. Come to kneel. And we're going to do a little side bending here. So we're gonna come to sit off of that right side. So I'm on my right hip. My legs, I'm gonna work an offset position. You can also work a triangle as well. This is our Mermaid stretch that is classically Pilates, but I love it because you get to stretch in both directions and it just feels good. We're gonna add on stuff. You're gonna hold on to your left shin with your left hand, right arm comes up to the ceiling. Pull yourself into your legs as you side bend over. Get a little bit of length and feel like you're sandwiched between two panes of glass. You're moving through lasers with stealth. Come all the way up to tall. You're gonna reach long and then come down onto that forearm and arc over. So you get that big stretch here. Come all the way back up, side bend over and hold. Stay here or drape the arm over your head, working that elbow up towards the ceiling. Changes the stretch a lot. And then come all the way back up. We take our counter stretch. Same thing here. Really arc up, feel the heaviness in the hips, create space in the waist to lengthen. Final time here, you come up into your side bend. You can stay here or add on a little arm circle. And if you want to open the chest a little bit, I love that. And then let's reverse. Come all the way back up. Boop. Side bend over. And let's do our arm circles here. Just letting it kind of move. And now reverse. Now from here, bring both hands down to the mat. You can straighten the arms or bring them down. You're gonna work a little twist here. You can bring the legs to a triangle position if this feels a little better. And think about pulling that top hip back as you square your hips towards the mat. You can also lift up into a little bit of extension here. This is one that I do in my Congoer's Guide to a Happy Spine. So if you want to check out that series, I'll add a card somewhere here in post. And then come back through center. Take another twist in your more mermaid position. So now I'm holding onto my left leg with both hands, and I'm working a little twist here. All right, let's go to the other side. No funky transition, just swing those legs around. Right hand on right leg, left arm to the ceiling. Superhero, side bend. Come all the way up and over counter stretch. Come up into your mermaid. You can bend that top arm. Once again, all these are options. I love stretching, and I could honestly be stretching for hours. Could spend a whole day stretching. There's so many different options to explore. It's very exciting for me, and I hope that it's exciting for you. It's cool to discover new things about your body and surprise yourself. Take a little arm circle here. And reverse. You never know. Sit on your mat and explore. If it's not fun and playful, let's take our arm circles over here. Then what are we doing? I think fun is a very underrated element to our movement practice. Let's turn for that twist. I'm gonna go for the triangle here because that felt good. You can lift up into your extension. And then come back around. Find your twist here. I have a lot less twisting mobility here. And come all the way back to center. All right, we've spent a lot of time on the legs and the lower body. We're gonna work our way up now. We're gonna add some more twisting, and we're gonna add some upper back, shoulders, arms, everything from the waist up. So from here, we're gonna start with a little thread the needle. So you're gonna come to your quadruped position. You're gonna take your right arm and open arm twist away from your left arm. Enjoy that for a moment. This kind of looks like what we did in the warm-up. Now you're gonna take your arm, you're gonna send it through underneath you and come down onto your right shoulder. Now you can keep your hips lifting or you can send them back a little bit more into a more child's pose-like position. I like to work a more lifted position here. This hand in front can come long in front of you, or you can add more of a bind, taking that hand reaching for your opposite hip. So you work that open chest and that twist in the shoulder. To come out of this, your left hand comes down, you de-thread your needle, open arm twist, come back through center, and we do the same thing on the other side. Left arm up, send the arm through, and then set it up. Either long arm in the front or take the bind. Come back through center, open twist, and return. Let's slowly lower down onto our stomach into our prone position. And now we're gonna add a little more stretch for the chest. So you're gonna start with your right arm out in a cactus position. It's gonna come to the side, probably off of your mat. Your elbow is gonna stay aligned with your shoulder. If you've done this one before, the arm can go straight. We're gonna start with the cactus here. Now, from this position, you're going to press into your left hand. You're gonna lift up onto your right hip. You can drop your head for a little support. Right away, you might feel a stretch in your chest, right where you're in between your shoulders and your pecs. So from here, you can take that twist deeper by taking that top hip over more and bringing that foot down as a kickstand. You can also play with coming a little bit forward and straightening the arm. You can also play with just taking that arm a little behind you. Nice big breaths here. Nice big stretch through the front. I love this stretch. And then come back through center. We do the same thing on the other side. So left arm comes into your cactus, your goalpost, whatever you want to call it. And then you flip onto that hip. Try to keep length through your waist. Keep the shoulders away from your ears. It does change how much stretch you get. And just try to relax into this a little bit. This is an easy position to add tension in. We want to try to keep our breathing nice and rhythmic so that we keep the stress levels under control. Sometimes getting into certain shapes, the body can kind of trigger. So we want to just breathe nice and rhythmically, keeping it nice and consistent, and that'll help deepen your stretch and calm the body. Come back through center. You're going to tent up onto your fingertips to the outsides of the mat. Legs can be open wide for a little bit of release in the lower back. You're going to lift up into your little cobra or swan, whatever practice you come from. Big inhale at the top, big stretch through the front of the body, and then lower back down nice and controlled. Let's take that a few more times. You lift up, nice and long and lifted. Maybe the head goes back a little bit, and lower down. One more time. And slowly lower down. From here, come to lie down on your right side. You're gonna bend your knees in, and we're gonna take a little supine twist here. So your right arm's gonna come long, your left arm comes long to meet it. From here, we're gonna do a little arm circle here. So you're gonna take that top arm, circle it around, moving your torso into that twist, and then back. 2 more in this direction. So similar to what we did in our mermaid, but now we're getting a little bit more rotation at the rib cage. Now reverse your circle. This next time, just take your arms out to the side like a T, turn your gaze towards your left shoulder, and work that shoulder down. So I'm less concerned with the legs stacking and more concerned with keeping that shoulder down. Stay here or straighten the right leg, keeping the left leg bent, and going for your supine twist here. This will get into your lower back, shoulders. Big breaths in this position. You can always add the optional quad stretch by bending that right leg and coming into more of a pretzel looking situation. Slowly release your quad stretch. Bring your torso back through center. And you can just change sides right away, but I'm gonna flip over so that you don't have to look at my back. We're gonna set up in that side seated position, 3 arm circles in each direction. Taking out all of our enemies in one foul swoop. After your third, you reverse. Letting the rib cage kind of fall open. Now find your supine twist. Knees can stay bent, or you can take that left leg long and twist. You can add the quad stretch. So many options. Choose your fighter. Choose what kind of superhero you are. What are your special stretching powers? Come out of your twist. Come to lie down on your back for a moment. We're just gonna focus on giving a little stretch in the front of the body here. I'm gonna separate my feet and knock knee together. Take my hands behind me, interlace the knuckles and stretch. Just letting my chest flow open. Checking my mic. Now from here, I'm gonna take my arms out to the side like a T. You can also bend at the elbows. You might feel a big stretch here. If you need more stretch, you can find a foam roller and bring your shoulder blades onto that roller. That's going to give you more range of motion to stretch into. You can also play with sliding the elbows up and down, checking that range of motion. Now from here, lift your knees up, take a big hug of the knees into your chest, rock out a little on that lower back. You can go side to side, you can do circles. And then place one hand on top of each knee, circle them away from each other. And reverse your circle. From here, rock up to sit. Let's stretch our neck. So I'm taking a comfortable seated position. Hands are just coming softly to my knees. And you're just gonna take a couple gentle shoulder rolls here. And just check and see where you may be carrying tension. We tend to carry a lot of tension in our traps, which are right at the top of the shoulder here. And then reverse your circle. From here, you're gonna take your hands behind your head, stack them one on top of the other. And then from here, you're gonna drop your head, fold the elbows towards your face. Keep your spine nice and long. You're not going to force the head down. You're just gonna let gravity take the weight of the hands. And then lift up, find a little upper back extension. And then lower. And lift up. One more time. And lift up. Come back through center. Interlace your knuckles, stretch the arms to the sky. And then take them down by your sides, light fingertips. Lower your right ear to your right shoulder. And then come back through center, left ear to left shoulder. Return right ear to right shoulder. Stay here or take gentle nods of the chin forward and back. Start small and then work your way up to a larger range of motion. Especially if this is your first time doing this. Now return ear to shoulder. Turn your gaze down towards your armpit. You'll get a big stretch through the sternocleidomastoid muscle. That's the name of a muscle. It's insane, but I love it. Find your side bend once more. Come all the way up and we go to the other side. Left ear, left shoulder. This side for me is so tight. You're gonna lift the chin up and lower down. A few times. Once again, you're not fitting into a certain mold here. You're not getting extra points for having a ton of range of motion. Meet your body where it's at. Return to stillness. Turn the gaze down to your armpit. Find your side bend, come back up. Bring your hands into your lap. Take 3 big head circles in each direction. And reverse your circle. Come back up to center. One final little supine twist here. Left hand to right knee. Twist away from that left hip. Grow a little taller, twist a little deeper. Come back through center, change sides. Grow a little taller, twist a little deeper. Come back through center, interlace your hands behind your back, punch the knuckles behind you, work the palms together as you forward fold over your legs, and let gravity take it. Release your hands back to your knees, slowly roll all the way up to tall, and you're ready to fight some crime. Great job, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this stretchy stream. If you want to see more videos like this, please comment down below. If you have special CosPilates requests for characters, definitely let me know in the comments below. And I look forward to moving with you soon. Stay awesome. Bye.